Hello, everybody, and welcome to Church at Home with Rachel for Thursday, the 18th of June. Today, I am at Henry Budd College for Ministry up in the Paw, and I'm chairing the Diocesan Executive Committee meeting. It is, no, sorry, I'm not. That's tomorrow. Today, I am sitting with one deacon and two soon-to-be deacons, one of whom will be ordained a priest 6 months later, as we talk about the incredible ministry of their congregation and a new experiment into team ministry. Life is good, which is really quite appropriate because today I'd like to speak to you about a sentence I read from Pastrix, The Cranky Beautiful Faith of a Sinner Saint and Saint Nadia Bolz Weber. It's her book called Pastrix. And in it here, she has this incredible sentence. She says, when I was working as a comic, normal, non-comic people would often say, wow, I don't know how you can get up in front of all those people with just a microphone. To which I would reply, wow, I don't know how you can balance your checkbook and get up for work each day. We all find different things challenging in life. Speaking in front of hundreds of people was far less challenging for me than scheduling dental appointments. I can totally get that because I've been putting off my dental appointment myself for quite some time. I love what she has to say, and I think that's really appropriate for today because today, as I said, I'm working with these ladies named Yvonne and Diane and Maureen, and two incredible archdeacons, Cheryl and Kara, as we talk about the ministry for a congregation that hasn't had a priest for several years and has had an ongoing work of a deacon, Maureen, who's done incredible work there. But now we're moving into a time when in October, there will be 3 deacons working together, and then come next May or June, Diane will be ordained a priest, and they'll have a priest and 2 deacons. And so we're looking at a whole different model of ministry in which we've got 3 people, all ordained, working with a whole pile of incredible lay people to form, to figure out what God is calling them to do. This is one of those unicorn churches here. It's a church that has been without a priest for 3 years, at least, and it has grown. Not hundreds of people, but just gently, a family here, and a couple here, people that back and forth. They have grown and they continue to grow, and they are serving the community, and they are an active part of a small town with many challenges, and several different churches. But they're holding their own, and they're doing the work of Christ in that place. And each of the people, the 3 people that I'm talking about, Maureen and Yvonne and Diane, they're all called in very specific and different ways. God has not called any of them to do something that the other one can do extremely well. They all bring their unique gifts to the table. And so today I have the chance with Archdeacon Kara and Archdeacon Cheryl, who have completely different gifts, and they're completely different than mine. All 6 of us get to sit down at the table and talk about the ministry at Christ Church and what that might look like. What might team ministry look like? And it really is all about the fact that God has given each of us gifts that require us to do different things. Just like Nadia couldn't figure out how somebody could get up in the morning and make dental appointments, but she can stand up in front of hundreds of people and crack jokes and preach phenomenal sermons. If you have not heard of her, look up Nadia Bolz Weber online. She's a Lutheran pastor in the States, and wow, I want to grow up and be like her. Except that's the point, that her gifts are her gifts, and my gifts are mine, and yours are yours. Everybody does something different. Everybody's called for different challenges. All of us have different gifts we bring to the table. And can you imagine if everybody brought the same one? Reminds me of potluck dinners. The earliest potluck dinner I ever remember was when I was a Girl Guide, and I was in Hanover. So I'd be maybe 11 years old, 10 years old. And we'd moved from St. Thomas, or no, from Listowel to St. Thomas, or to Hanover. And had been a Girl Guide in Listowel. And I moved into Hanover, and I joined a different Girl Guide group. And their end of the year bash, at the end of the year, they had a potluck supper. And so we got to the potluck supper, and literally everybody, like all 12 mothers of the kids, of the girls, brought chili. No buns, no desserts, no Rice Krispie squares, no vegetable sticks, nothing. 12 different batches of chili. It could have been a chili cook-off. Well, see, that's the thing about a potluck. Everybody brings something, and you get what the luck brings you. So the next year, okay, so everybody remembered what happened last year, and we came together, and we were so excited. There was no chili. Guess what? Everybody brought brownies. Like this is just bad luck. You can't potlucks just don't work like that. Except they did. But what we realized is that the reality is that we all have to bring something special to the table. Not worry about what everybody else is bringing. Not think about what people might like the most. Because if we think only about what people might like better about us, first of all, we paralyze ourselves with the fear of what if they don't like us. But also, that negates the fact that maybe there is something about us that people don't recognize or don't know that just makes us absolutely fantabulous and fantastic and amazing. And if we don't bring that ourselves, no one else will ever know it. So the three ladies I'm working with today, and through the two other archdeacons, so the five ladies I'm working with today, we all bring different things to the table. And the hope is that when we lay out everything, for those of you who know me, I love my post-it notes. I have got post-it notes galore to talk about all the ministries that these three ladies have already named as part of their ministry. So we can put them all over the wall and then say, okay, so who's going to do what? And who's going to pick up the pieces that are missing? And my hunch is that there won't be very many pieces missing when we put everything on the wall, because they'll have brought all of their things together. We can say, oh, Yvonne, this is what you'll do. And Diane, this is your bailiwick. And Maureen, you're fantastic at this. And together they'll figure out who can do what. And those things that are left, well, guess what? The congregation gets to do. So it's like a potluck. If we truly bring our favorite recipe, the thing that we do the best, the thing that we are the most proud of, the chances that everybody else will bring exactly the same thing are slim. There might be a couple of those potato salads, or there might be several bowls of chili, but there's also going to be other things. And the beauty is that those bowls of chili or those potato salads, they won't be identical. They each offer something different. And that's the thing. As Nadia Bolz Weber says, to which wow, I don't know how you can get up in front of all these people with just a microphone. To which I would reply, wow, I don't know how you can balance your checkbook and get up for work each day. We all find different things challenging in life, and we all find different things life-giving in life. The question is, what do you find challenging, and what do you find life-giving, and how do you bring those things to the table? And how do you reach out to someone who can do something for you that's challenging? And how can you find the thing, offer the thing that gives you life? Always remember Nadia Bolz Weber's wisdom there. Not everybody finds the same thing challenging. So what are you going to bring to the potluck of your life today? Please pray for us ladies as we gather at Henry Budd to talk about the future of this church and what it might entail. Because the future is bright, so we better all get our shades. Have a great day. God bless.